Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. So this is session 4 and in the last session 3, we have already completed what is Maven, how Maven downloads and manages the dependency, what is the life cycle of the Maven, how to install the Maven in your Windows machine. We have seen Maven in the great length, okay? And today we are going to start with the creating the framework structure in the IDE, okay? So here I want to emphasize like I'm going to use the IntelliJ IDEA because there are few reasons, right? If you see, the IntelliJ has a very good integration with the Git, so all the options are available in the UI itself, right? So you can directly go and you can use it, right? The Git, if you see here over, the Git is there, so everything at your fingertip. You don't have to remember all those commands and all, right? So this is one. And if you go to the organization and see, most of the developers are using IntelliJ or VS Code, right? So it's better to understand the IntelliJ and the VS Code also from that perspective, if you see, right? So okay, so let's get it started, guys. So first we have to see if the Maven is available to the IntelliJ IDEA or not. So how exactly you will make Maven available to IntelliJ? That can be done with the help of the plugins. Okay, so let's go to the file and then go to the settings. So here you can see, so we have appearance and behavior editor plugins. So go click on the plugins. So if you want to install some plugin, you can directly go and search over here. Okay, so let's say Docker is only there only, right? So let's say Docker. So it will start searching the Docker plugin, right, in the marketplace. If you see here, the marketplace tab is selected. So now you can see, okay, this is selected. So here you can click on install. It will install the Docker. Okay. Similarly, if you want to install a Node.js, you can search for Node.js in the marketplace and install. Okay. So, but our intention is to go with the Maven. Okay. So you see the Maven, but before that it will first search in the marketplace, right? So before that we can go and see whether it is already installed or not. If you see the second tab, click on it, you can see, so Maven is already installed, it is bundled, right? So we already have the Maven. So if you want to see what are the plugins we have in our IntelliJ, so if you see, these are the in the build tool we have the and Gradle and Maven, everything is there. Code coverage is there, XPath view, XSLT, HTML tools. These are the plugins that is already available in the this IntelliJ IDEA. So since I wanted Maven and it is available as one of the build tool, I can directly go ahead and start using the Maven related stuff in the IntelliJ. So I'll say okay. If it is not there, then go to the marketplace and here search for the Maven and then install this Maven. Okay, cool. So now we came to know our IntelliJ is equipped with the Maven plugin. So now we have to create a new Maven project. So how to create it? So file, new project. Okay, so now here new project, empty project, Maven archetype. Okay, so many different types are there, right? So we can say, let's go and say we are interested in doing a new project now. Okay, so give the name of the project. We can give Selenium Framework demo. Selenium Framework demo. Okay, so this is the name of the framework. Okay, and here you select as Java. Okay, Java is selected by default, it is highlighted, right? And build system is Maven. Okay, and I want to push it into the Git, so I'll say create Git repository. Okay, and okay, so apart from this, there is something called as the advanced settings also. So you go to the advanced setting and here you can give your group ID and artifact ID. Okay, so group ID I have given as QA automation classes, and artifact ID the same name as of the framework name, Selenium Framework demo. Okay, and you can give your own group ID and your own artifact ID. We have already discussed what is a group ID with respect to Maven, what is artifact ID with respect to Maven, right? So you can give group ID and artifact name accordingly, and then we can go ahead and say create. Okay, so if you see, new project got created. Okay, and the name of the artifact ID is coming here as Selenium Framework demo. It came here. Defender Docker I don't need, always add. Okay, so now if you see, project structure got created, basic project structure. Okay, so if you, okay, let me minimize everything, we'll expand one by one and see. Okay, so this is the Selenium Framework demo, that is the project that got created. And if you see here, external libraries are there. So we have added Java OpenJDK 20, right? OpenJDK 20 is added, that's why you see here all the JDK 20 related files are here, like yeah, libraries. Okay, so if you want to see from where this JDK 20 is coming, you can go to the project structure and you can see project and the SDK. software development kit. The SDK is 20, Oracle OpenJDK version 20.0.2. So this is the default SDK that has been defined for this project. Okay, and if you want, you can go and update the this versions also. Okay, if you see, this is the JDK home path. In this folder, if you go, and you can see this OpenJDK 20, and in the class path, these are the jars that are available. Okay, so cool. And then let's expand this folder and see, we just created a sample Maven project, right? So let's go and see what are the folder structure that came by default with it. So there is a folder called .idit specific to your IntelliJ, right? There are a few files over here. Okay, we know about the git ignore, right? So whatever the files we don't want to be pushed to the git or remote repository, we can ignore them by mentioning them here. Okay, so then we have pom.xml. Okay, this is the one, is the pom.xml is the root folder or the root place from where our project will start, right? So this is through the Maven creates a pom.xml through which it manages download of the dependencies as well as the manages to build, right? Those build lifecycle we have seen, right? The lifecycle of the Maven. So let's see what exactly is a part of pom.xml as of now. So this is like this is the XML version, this is the project namespace and everything. Okay, and then let's see, group ID is QA automation classes. Okay, so this is the group ID I have given, and artifact ID is nothing but the Selenium Framework demo. Okay, and if you see, the same artifact name is coming here in the project name, right? And version is 1.0 snapshot. Okay, this is perfectly all right. And there are some properties by default got added. Okay, Maven compiler source is 20, Maven compiler target is also 20, and encoding is UTF-8. Okay, so this is basically a basic plain pom.xml that we have in the project as of now, because we just created a Maven project. So pom stands for project object model with respect to Maven, and with respect to our testing framework, pom means page object model. Okay, so then let's go and expand this source folder. If you see, we have two folders inside that, main and test. So what exactly is this main and what is this test? So let's understand, when the developers are trying to develop their project, right? So they develop their code and then they write the unit test cases to test their code. Okay, so whenever they develop any code, that code goes inside this main folder, okay, or the package, and whenever they write their unit test cases, that goes inside the test folder. Okay, but here our automation scripts will be going to write inside the test folder. Okay, it is not a hard and fast rule, but this is just a like we can follow it, right? It's just a practice. So okay, so now if you see, we can start using this test folder for the everything, but let's expand the main and see what is the content inside that main folder. So inside the main, we have the Java and we have the resources. So what exactly this Java and what exactly is for this resources? See, inside the Java, whatever the actual code you are going to write, right? So those codes should be part of your Java. You can make the packages inside this, and here you can make the classes. If you see, the IntelliJ IDEA has already created a package with QA automation classes, and it has created a sample file for us. Okay, but we don't need them, we'll be deleting them. But let's go through the folder structure first. That is the inside that is how inside the Java folder you will have all your code or the classes, everything developers will design, right? And similarly in the resources, if there are some properties file, right, those things, and if there are some external files that needs to be accessed, right? So those information or those files should be present in the resources. Here inside the Java you should have the pure code, and here the associated resources which are required to run those code, to compile that code, we will put that to run that code basically will be as part of the resources. Okay, so that's how the main Java and resources. Okay, so since we saw just now, we saw we don't need this QA automation classes, right? This package, so we can go ahead and delete this. It has by default got created, but we don't need this. We'll be having our architecture, right? Different folder structures over there. So let's go here and refactor. I can do the delete directly. Okay, so delete. So okay, done. So now it is deleted. So I'll close this main because we are going to write all our scripts inside the test. So let's open this test. So in IntelliJ, there is one difference with respect to Eclipse. So when you create a Maven project in IntelliJ, under the test, you don't see source test. You see source test Java, but you don't see source test and resources. So here we need to create a resources folder if we want to keep our properties file, our Excel related stuff, all those things, right? So we can keep it inside the resources folder. So how to create the resources folder? So right click on the test. Let's go right click on the test, and you have to say new, right? And then say directory. Okay, so let's go here. So we are going to create the directory, let's say resources. Okay, and now hit enter. So if you see, now a resources folder got created over here. Okay, how it was created, right? For the main, similarly for the test also we created the resources folder. Okay, so now after creating the resources, if you want to see this is the resources, this is also resources. Okay, cool. Now okay, okay, so now the resources folder got created, so we need to create the folder structure now, right? So what are the folders we need? So we need a folder for the screenshot, right? Whenever our automation scripts are going to fail, we need the folder for the screenshot. So go to the framework demo, new directory. Okay, let's say screenshot. Okay, right? So screenshot folder, and so can be keep it capitalized, screenshots. Okay, enter. So let's start creating the packages. New package, so com dot automation exercise. So this is one of the package. Okay, and after this package is created, so go to that package, new, so again package. Okay, com dot automation exercise dot we can say let's say test data. First let's say test cases, right? So let's say test cases, and then next new package, so dot after test cases we can say page cases, right? Page classes. Okay, and then next test cases, page classes, and next is test data, right? We need a folder for the test data, so let's say test data. After that, main thing is automation utils, right? That is also important. So let's say new package automation utilities. Okay, so now if you see, we created automation utilities, page classes, test cases, and test data. Okay, and we already have our screenshot folders over here. Screenshots. Okay, makes sense. So these are the folders we have created. So let's understand what is this page class. Okay, so inside this first automation utils, right? So in the automation utils we are going to have all the reusable components, right? Whatever can be reused across the test cases, like launching of the driver and closing of the driver, and few other things we will see gradually, right? So those kind of the things we will keep it inside the automation utilities. And then comes the page class. In the page class, since we are following the page object model, for each of the pages in the application we are going to create the different page classes. Suppose there is a login page, right? So whenever user opens the browser and types the navigates or types or navigates to that URL, that particular home like login page opens, and in the login page whatever elements are there, like username is there, password is there, and submit buttons are there. So those three things will be captured in the those three objects will be captured in the page class, that login page class, right? So similarly, after user has been logged in, we will go to this landing page or the home page, right? User home page. And user home page, whatever the elements are there on which we are supposed to do the operations or the action, that will be part of that page, right? So similarly, we have to identify all the pages that we have in the application, and accordingly we have to write the page classes. Okay, and test cases, so test cases are nothing but here we are going to have our test classes. Okay, test classes means suppose login, so login test. So for whatever the steps are required for the login test, we will be writing that inside the test case. One test class with the login test, and another one is user registration test, right? So another one is like maybe search for a particular product, right? So this kind of the test cases we will be writing inside the test cases folder. And test data, if we are going to develop a data driven framework where we want our test data to be read from the Excel, and in that case the test data should be placed separately outside of the code, right? So inside the test data folder we can keep that. Okay, or maybe yeah, so not the actual file we'll be keeping, we'll be having the code, right? Because this is all Java part, right? So inside this we'll have the code, right? That is through the Apache POI, how to read the data from the particular Excel file, or how to read the data from the this one I can say database, right? So those code related logic should be part of this test data folder. Okay, and screenshots, as I told you earlier, So here we will be generating some of the screenshot after the test cases has been executed. Okay, so for each time the test case is failing, we are going to have the screenshot stored in that screenshot folder. Okay, so hope this is clear, guys. So this is the basic framework folder structure that we have created. We have seen how to add the Maven plugin and how to create a project, right? Maven project, and we saw what is the pom.xml that got created and how to what is the folder structure by default Maven has created in IntelliJ, and what are the modification we made to our source test Java folders, right? What are the new packages we have added, right? And how did we added the resources also. Okay, and here in the resources we'll have our properties file and all, right? So application config related properties, the URL of the application, right? Any other information, username and password, something like mostly username and password we can parameterize through the Excel only, but there will be some other properties we can keep it in the that app.config file. And app config.properties file is a config properties file actually, right? Similarly log4j.properties, right? Extend report.properties. So all those properties file we can keep it inside the resources folder. I hope this is clear, guys. This is the basic framework folder structure you have to create when if you are setting up the project from the scratch. Okay, so hope this is clear to you. If you guys need any clarification, please ping me in the comment section. I'll be getting back to you as soon as possible. And if you go through the description section, I have given my WhatsApp link as well as the Telegram link. Please do join them. Okay, and there also you can post your questions. If you guys need anything, please feel free to ask them in the group. And please do like to the content, and if you want you can also you can share with your friends and colleagues. Okay, and we'll meet in the next class. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye bye.